departure was of a train smothered in smoke and made even more blurry by her tears. A train that had grown 1,000 arms of its own. There are 3 enemies in Harry Grimes's war: the Germans, the heat, and the desert. Harry tried not to show his discomfort. He was a master sergeant, after all, and Sergeant Grimes had a reputation for not showing anything. But as far as he was concerned, the desert was a lot harder to take than the Germans. He had seen the Jerrys only twice during recent skirmishes, but Harry was surrounded by the desert, night and day. He stretched out in the trench, the camouflage netting overhead offering a hint of shade. Though it filtered out the worst of the blistering sun, it also kept out any breeze, trapping the heat and turning the trench into an oven. He looked up and noted the sun slowly sinking toward the ochre hills. He glanced at his watch, then held it to his ear. Even when he heard the ticking, he had trouble believing it was keeping proper time. Aye, the last 2 hours are the longest, and the last 5 minutes longer still. The boy with the British accent to his left was named Harry as well, which was good enough for a laugh now that Sergeant Grimes had been tested under fire and found acceptable. The Brits were a scrawny lot, mostly wiry and small, but they fought as if the world's future depended on them alone. Harry Grimes asked, "You really think we'll find them this time?" "Not a doubt, Yank. They're out there. They're ready, and they'll find us," he corrected. Harry the Brit was only 18, 3 years younger than Harry Grimes, but he had been fighting in Montgomery's North Africa campaign for 10 long months. His face was a taut mask tainted by sun and war and desert sand. His eyes looked 1,000 years old. "Old Rammel's a wily foe. He's kept shifting and turning and running back and forth until he has us right where he wants us. Now he'll be on us like a pack of wild dogs." "Ease up, Harry. You're a right one with the gloom and doom." The man farther to their left was a heavy-set Londoner with a Cockney accent so thick Harry Grimes could hardly understand him. "Pay the bloke no mind, Yank. All them Lancashire lads have got porridge between their ears." "I'll wait till you've been at her as long as me. Then we'll see how you hold up, sitting here on Rommel's flank." "Hang on, let me go find Monty. Tell him me mate's got word on how to fix the Jerrys up proper." Harry Grimes slid further along the trench and shut his ears. The grousing would go on for as long as they were forced to sit and wait. That much was the same here, but not much else. He had been assigned liaison duty with the Brits, and he felt like the proverbial fish out of water. A fish in the desert, no less. But the Brits had been here for a year already and had learned the lessons of desert warfare the hard way. The Americans were just getting started, and everything was in chaos. No surprise, given the speed with which their army had been plucked together. Harry pulled pad and pencil from his pocket. He had been working on this particular letter to Martha for almost a month. But he never had been much with writing. Besides, there was so little he wanted to say, could say, from such a dislocated distance. The fact that he was thrilled to bits that Martha's pregnancy was going well had been good for a paragraph. Harry desperately wanted that child. The thought of being a father fueled his homesickness. Home to Martha. Home to a son. Or a daughter. It really didn't matter one way or the other to Harry. The fact that he was to become a father made this war even more important. He wanted a safe world for his child. Sure, it would be harder moving from base to base with a family in tow, but many men did it. It gave added stability to army life. And Martha was so excited. He could feel her anticipation even across the miles. It flowed from every line of her letters, and she said it gave her something to look forward to in his absence. A little bundle of you, she called the child she carried, but he knew it was not just him. The new baby would be a part of each of them. He had been totally unprepared for his inner excitement at the news of the coming baby, and wished with all his being that he could be there with Martha to share their joy. Martha's letters were full of bittersweet anticipation. She looked forward to the coming child, yet she so longed for him to be there with her. It didn't seem right that she had to face each day alone. Harry sighed and tapped his pencil. Even though he felt so deeply, he found no way to put the words on the stiff, trench-dirtied paper. The stuff the Brits called chow had made for another couple of sentences, but there was little else to report except the heat.